Welcome. Welcome to Thoughts Roundup. How nice it is to be with you today. Thank you all for tuning in. I have with me today Brother Steeples. And I met Brother Steeples years ago at Brother Tommy Kraft's church in Jackson, Mississippi, right?
Brother Smith's.
Well, you at Brother Smith's now, but was not you at one time at Jackson?
Never.
Never? Well, that's the first mistake I've ever made.
It's not Steeples either.
What is it?
Teeples.
Brother Teeples. It's not Steeples. It's Teeples.
You want to start over?
No, this is it's down home. We don't Hollywood this thing. No, but I did not meet you at Brother Kraft's.
No.
Well, okay. Well, we got that all straightened out from my head anyway, and it is just so nice to have you all here and have you here. And so, now have you been here at Brother Smith's for a long time?
I first came here back in 2007.
7.
I was visiting. I was actually in the service at the time down at Camp Shelby. And a friend of mine had a grandmother that was attending Jesus Name Tabernacle. And she came and picked us up.
Now this is Florence.
Correct.
That's right. I got one name right.
You did.
And so you've been here since 2007.
Yes, sir.
Well, you do something, you work with the funeral services some way, do you?
Yes, sir. I'm a family service counselor with our Wright and Ferguson funeral homes here in the Jackson area.
Now, tell me kind of a little louder what you do.
Well, we specialize on my side of it in helping with pre-planning and pre-arranging.
Yeah.
And also there's some counseling that's involved and grief counseling that comes along with it, but not limited to. And so it kind of goes hand in hand with the ministry and others. And it's a very rewarding position to be in. And so we're privileged to serve the people in our surrounding areas.
Preachers that work with funeral homes, like taking care of the services and taking it out, the body out to the cemetery and be right. It goes kind of hand in hand with ministry.
It does.
Yeah, very easy.
Easy.
Yeah, and so, well, that's so good. Well, now, but what I really want to get to is I understand that you are getting into the preaching business or are in, and I don't know how long you have been, but I know that you've been preaching around here and there. So tell us about that.
Well, years ago, if you would have asked my wife and I if we would ever been in this position, we would have thought there's no way in this world. But God has a plan. And here in the last, years ago, I'd felt that tug, that call.
You felt a good while ago.
A good while ago. Even perhaps going back to when I was in my late teens.
Oh.
Feeling a just something different.
Yeah.
But I was able, as God brought us full circle here in this Jackson area, Sister Lively, and I do have to give her credit to where I am now.
Who is Sister Lively?
She is the lady that picked us up at Camp Shelby in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Uh-huh. And on the way up, she said, "I believe the Lord has your wife at Jesus Name Tabernacle." And I thought, she's probably not all there. But when we pulled into the parking lot and we were walking up to the side door, when the first person out was a young lady named Sarah.
What a story. What a story.
And we've been married almost 15 years till today.
So you knew kind of there it was.
That was it. We've never looked back. And the Lord brought us together, and thankful for our leadership under Sister Holland and Pastor Smith for channeling that that calling that I felt they cultivated it,
yes, sir.
Nourished it, and with my growth over time to help answer that call, God just began to gradually open the doors and pave the way. And the day that I got the call from Brother Smith about the position that I'm in now, it just kind of went hand in hand with everything. And then from there, with the flexibility, the Lord just began to open up some local doors to go and to begin preaching His Word.
Well, tell us some places you've been.
Well, I started at my home church under Sister Holland and Brother Smith. And then I would eventually go back to my home church back in Tennessee.
Tennessee? What part of Tennessee?
Columbia, Tennessee.
I know right where it's at.
Brother Elder Henry Mobley is my father in the Lord. He's the one that he was my principal, my teacher, my pastor. He's the one that baptized me, preached this message into my heart, and
I love Tennessee.
Oh, I love it. There's no place like home.
That's right. That's right. Tennessee's a beautiful country.
It is.
And a lot of good people.
A lot of great folks.
Yeah. So then when you left there, you came to here?
Yes, I was in the service there.
Yeah.
And we transferred to Camp Shelby. And then that's kind of how, and you know, when God places a woman in your life, that can be life-changing.
Life-changing.
So
and I tell you what, you always be good to her, because if the Lord ever calls her home, you'll never get over it.
No.
I miss my wife every day, a big part of the day. And I would just be so glad if I could do something for her. I'd like to buy her something. I'd like to give her something and just do something for her.
Right.
I like to tell her how sweet she is and how pretty she is. So that's kind of the way it goes, you know. Well, that all sounds like you're on the right track.
It is. It was kind of a sweet ordeal to be back home at my home church, preaching under Elder Mobley, and to branch out from there. The Lord has just kind of opened our doors to be preaching where we are, and I'm grateful for the opportunities, the men that have been placed in my life, like yourself.
Thank you.
That have given me strength and
thank you.
Words for the journey. Like I'm telling you,
thank you.
Bishop Jim Johnson. Recently, we've been able to cross paths.
Now, you was preaching for Brother Johnson, wasn't you?
I did go preach
in the town.
Natchez.
Natchez.
That's right.
Hey, folks, if y'all ever go to Natchez, Mississippi, look for that beautiful. That's one of the most beautiful churches.
Right there off 49. I believe.
Is it 49?
I believe.
Or 80? No,
Might be.
Anyways, it's if you just keep going,
right.
The hospital's on the right, way on down. It is so
beautiful country.
Yeah, beautiful country, beautiful church, and the Johnsons are so sweet.
Yes. Just good people that I've been able to meet here.
Where else have you been preaching lately?
We started off the year. I was at Brother Scott Kitchen's up in Nettleton, Mississippi, and then we've been at Brother McCullum's. Used to be Brother Washington's there in Pontotoc. We've been up there some this year, just having good church. Brother Kyle and Brandon, Mississippi. We spent about a month and a half in some revival services there.
Oh, that's right.
Having good church, and so
How often did you preach during the week?
It really depends on the pastor.
I mean, no, when you was there a month and a half.
Oh, it was, we just did the Wednesday,
And Sundays?
Sunday, and Sunday night.
Yeah, that's the way they do it anymore. But it's good to get to stay in one place because you kind of get under a particular burden and gives God a chance to work through you
Right.
and so forth like that.
Right.
Well, do you have any children?
No children. We have one chocolate lab, and he's a handful. And we're just praying about the future, and whatever the Lord wills.
Yeah.
We've just kind of put it into His hands.
Sure.
Our paths are in His care.
Oh yeah.
And you look at the way that the world is right now.
Oh. As much as I love my children, I'm fixing to say something that probably people would disagree with. But as much as I love my children, if I had it all to do over, I don't know where I'd have them or not. Because I don't want my kids to be lost.
Right.
And the world never quits vying for them, trying to reach them.
Right.
It aggravates me so.
Well, you see what's happening right now.
My grandkids too, I'm thinking about that.
Right.
Go ahead.
And you look at the spiritual time clock, and you look to Jerusalem with what's happening.
Yeah.
And brother, I don't plan on staying here.
No.
I'm getting ready.
Getting ready to get out?
We're getting ready to go.
You know,
I don't know.
I want all my kids, all my grandkids, everybody. I want them to go.
Right.
With me. Well, okay. Now, I look forward to seeing this interview. I don't look at them all, but I want to be seeing how. I'm glad to have this interview with you.
Yes, sir. And I'm glad that I can kind of be your assistant.
Well, thank
while
you.
You're here.
Now, we went over to, what's the name of that restaurant?
Barry's.
Barry's. If you coming down through Florence and you see a big cross,
that's right.
And there's Barry's Restaurant, and it's some of the greatest fish and down home soul food that you can ever find.
They got a little something for everybody.
They got a little something for everyone.
If you leave hungry, it's your fault.
And they have religious music and religious pictures and religious singing. And
they do.
The whole thing going. Hey, we met some nice folks in there, church people in there tonight.
We did. You're usually always going to see some apostolics
there. Yeah.
Always.
And they were good, and they were from California, wasn't it?
Yes, they had moved down here.
Yeah. Well, you tell them how to vote. I figure they know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's so good to see you. Good
yes, sir.
To be with you.
You too, Brother Marler.
Had just a little bit of time.
And we love you.
God bless you, folks.
God bless y'all.